Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dialoguing English podcast.
The podcast where you learn English through real conversations, real situations, and natural listening practice.
If you want to understand English better
If you want to speak with more confidence,
and feel comfortable in everyday situations,
then you are in the right place.
here on the Dialoguing English podcast, we don't just teach English.
We help you experience English.
Through conversations that feel real,
Conversations that you might have in your daily life,
at work,
while traveling,
or even doing something simple.
like going to a restaurant.
And that's exactly what today's episode is about.
One of the most common situations for English learners.
Ordering food in English.
It sounds simple.
But for many learners, it can feel stressful.
You might feel nervous,
You might not know what to say,
or you might understand but feel afraid to speak.
and that's completely normal.
That's why today we're going to walk you through the entire experience,
Step by step,
from entering the restaurant
to ordering your food.
to asking for the bill.
So take a deep breath
Relax,
and imagine you are in a real restaurant.
because the more you imagine,
The more natural English will feel. So, James, let's imagine we just arrived at a restaurant.
all right, I'm a little hungry already.
That's perfect for this situation.
We walk in and usually someone greets us,
Yes, the host or hostess.
and they say, "Hello, how many people?"
A very simple question.
If you are alone, you say, "Table for one, please."
If you are with someone, table for two, please.
Simple, clear, and polite.
Now let's say we are together.
Of course.
We say, table for two, please.
The host smiles and says, "Right this way."
And they take us to our table.
We sit down,
Now comes a moment that many learners find difficult.
looking at the menu,
Menus can be confusing.
especially in another language.
There are many sections,
Appetizers,
main dishes,
desserts,
drinks,
special items.
and sometimes unfamiliar words.
So what should learners do?
Don't panic.
Exactly.
Focus on what you recognize,
Look for familiar words.
like chicken, pasta, rice, salad.
Basic vocabulary helps a lot.
And if you don't understand something,
It's okay.
you can always ask.
That's very important.
Many learners are afraid to ask questions,
But asking is part of communication.
and it shows confidence,
Now the waiter arrives.
and says, "Hi, my name is Alex. I'll be your server today."
Then asks, "Can I get you something to drink?"
This is usually the first order.
Drinks come first.
What would you say, James?
I'd say, "I'll have water, please."
Very natural.
Or maybe, "I'd like a soda."
Or juice or coffee.
Simple sentences work best.
Now comes the main moment.
Ordering food.
The waiter asks, "Are you ready to order?
If you are not ready, say,
Could we have a few more minutes?"
very polite.
Now let's say we are ready.
All right?
The waiter is waiting.
What do you say?
"I'd like the grilled chicken, please."
Perfect.
"What about you?"
I'll have the beef burger.
"Nice."
You can also ask questions.
Like, "What do you recommend?"
Very useful sentence.
It shows interest.
And helps you choose.
Sometimes the waiter asks follow-up questions.
Like, how would you like it cooked?
That can be confusing.
Especially for beginners.
But you can always say, "Could you explain that?"
Never be afraid to ask.
Another situation.
Special requests.
For example, "Can I have this without onions?"
Or, can I change the side?
These are very common.
Restaurants are used to that.
Now let's talk about mistakes.
Because mistakes happen.
If you make one, say, "Sorry, can I change my order?"
Very polite.
And very natural. Now the food arrives.
best moment.
The waiter says, "Enjoy your meal."
You reply, "Thank you,"
Now you start eating.
and maybe talking.
Conversations at the table are important.
You can comment on the food.
This is really good.
Or, "I like this a lot."
Or, this is delicious.
Positive expressions.
Simple but natural.
If there's a problem,
You can say, "Excuse me, I think there's a problem."
polite and clear.
No need to be aggressive.
Just calm communication.
Now we finish eating.
Time to pay.
You call the waiter.
And say, "Can we have the bill, please?"
Or, "Could I get the check?"
Both are correct.
The waiter brings it.
And may ask, "Cash or card?"
You answer, "Card, please."
Simple.
And done. James, do you think restaurants are good places to practice English?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because the situation is predictable
That helps learners feel safe,
and the vocabulary repeats
which improves memory.
and confidence grows.
One small conversation at a time.
Exactly.
So if you are learning English,
Don't avoid real situations.
use them,
Practice with them.
grow through them.
Because English is not just a subject,
It's a tool for real life.
and the more you use it,
The easier it becomes.
and that brings us to the end of today's episode.
Thank you for listening to the Dialoguing English podcast.
We hope you feel more confident ordering food in English.
Keep practicing
Keep listening.
and keep learning with Dialoguing English.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.